Hello, friends. Today, we're going to work on something that deals with the idea of impossibility. When we dream, one part of our brain wants to believe, yet another part sees it as impossible. The reason we see it as impossible is the conditions and circumstances we're currently in, or more accurately, the limits our mind has drawn for us. We need to learn to go beyond those limits. But what if we challenge these boundaries and refuse to feel dependent on our current circumstances? That's when expansion begins. Every single moment, life can bring us a new opportunity, a new door can open. Yet one of the main reasons we perceive things as impossible is because of subconscious programs that were formed in childhood. In fact, that's the root cause. It's just that those early programs manifest differently across areas of our adult life, so we confuse them with present circumstances. However, these current conditions are actually reflections of programs that were imprinted on our minds during early childhood, especially between the ages of 1 and 7. At that age, the brain hasn't yet reached the beta, conscious state. Instead, it operates in what we might call a natural, hypnotic state of awareness. In this alpha state, the brain absorbs everything around it like a sponge. Normally, our conscious mind can only process a limited amount of information, but the subconscious mind processes and stores far, far more. It's an infinite archive. So how do we attract something that seems impossible? If you perceive something as impossible, then by definition, it is impossible for you. You can't attract it while it remains under that label. First, you have to take it out of the category of impossible. How do we do that? We usually believe that our mental state and circumstances define who we are. This is me. This is my past. These are my conditions. But that's just a story and identity created by the mind. If you're working at a job, you might think, this is my situation, so that dream can't happen. Or you might say, I'm short, I'm not attractive, how could I ever be charming or confident? Every one of those thoughts keeps you trapped within your own limits. But can these limits be overcome? That's exactly the point I want to share with you. The brain is a mechanism constantly processing information. The mind, the analytical mind, and the subconscious are always active. But the analytical mind cannot solve problems through logic. The mind is a factory that produces problems. You question, you analyze, you judge, but you don't find solutions. Because wherever logic dominates, solutions disappear. Yes, you can solve some things logically, but only up to a point. Eventually, the cycle pulls you back in and you find yourself repeating the same pattern. If you have a problem and you see it as impossible, you can't solve it through thought alone. When the analytical mind asks, why can't I reach it? Why don't I have it? It actually distances you even more. But when the subconscious, your feeling state, becomes involved, everything starts to shift. If you truly want something, you must align yourself with it. This applies both to relationships and financial freedom. If you work a salaried job but dream of being free, first realize on a feeling level that you're no longer defined by that place. Show your self-confidence. As your emotional frequency changes, the outer world begins to respond differently. Everything is frequency. If your thoughts are in one place but your feelings are somewhere else, you can't attract what you want. You must feel as though you already have it. So how do we do that? Do your best where you are now. Even if you don't love your job, do it with gratitude and calmness. Because it's your lack of love for it that keeps you there, and as long as you stay in that vibration, you'll remain stuck. The same applies to relationships. If you like someone but keep waiting for them to notice you, it means you don't truly love yourself. If you don't find yourself attractive, no one else will either. The mind creates limits, but feelings are limitless. And that sense of limitlessness comes through emotion. Now let's do a short but powerful exercise together. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. Repeat this a few times and relax your body. Now imagine yourself in a dark room. This room represents your current circumstances. The darkness makes you uncomfortable, but deep down you know that you can't escape it while you remain in that hopeless energy. Now think of a situation in your life that makes you feel trapped. Visualize it clearly. What's keeping you there? Why can't you break free from this cycle? Now set aside all the conditions and excuses for a moment. Just imagine this. If you were already living your dream right now, how would you feel? Feel it in your heart. If you were financially free, or if you were happy with the person you love, what would that emotion feel like? Let that feeling transform you. Now in that dark room, see a white door appear in front of you. That door represents your new frequency, your new reality. Slowly walk toward it. Count 7 steps as you move closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now open the door. A radiant, bright space greets you. Step into it with courage. Nothing limits you here anymore. Now feel as if you are already living your dream. Stay in that feeling. The longer you can hold it, the better, because your frequency has now shifted. And from this moment forward, just watch what happens.